Episode 77. The Way Home. The sky had already begun its slow fade into indigo when the four of them stepped off the gravel road and onto the softer earth of the riverside path. Mork walked first. Not quickly. Not proudly. But with the quiet confidence of someone who had learned this land through survival, not comfort. Her hood swayed lightly with her steps. She didn't look back, didn't need to. She knew the others would follow, because there was nowhere else safer than behind her. Dean trailed a few steps behind, watching her gait. He felt something he hadn't felt in years. Trust, not in himself, but in another human being. Min walked close to her mother, though not touching. She sensed something sacred in the way Mork moved here. As if this ground carried memories Min herself had never lived but somehow belonged to. Daniel stayed last. He kept a respectful distance, not out of fear, but out of guilt that had aged heavier than his own bones. Yet tonight, for the first time in years, he walked in the same direction as the family he once broke. The river appeared beside them like a long silver scar, reflecting sky and sorrow in equal measure. The group stopped for a breath. Mork finally spoke, her voice low, steady. "This way hasn't changed." Daniel swallowed. "Even after all these years?" She shook her head. "Land doesn't forget, Daniel. Only people do." Dean felt that line inside his ribs. He didn't know whether she meant forgiveness, memory, or the way life forces you to walk forward even when your heart refuses. Min looked at her mother's back, the small, tired shape of a woman who had carried too much for too long, and whispered, "Are we going home, Mama?" Mork didn't turn around. "Not home," she said softly. "Not yet." She pointed toward the faint outline of the forest ahead. "First, we go where everything ended. So we can decide how to begin again." Dean inhaled sharply, the weight of his own past, the ghosts of Myra and Lila, pulling close. Daniel lowered his eyes. Min tightened her shawl. And Mork, the one who had survived both love and death, began walking again, leading them toward the place where truths had once torn their lives apart. Tonight, they would face them. Not as orphans. Not as fugitives of fate. Not as broken pieces. But as four tired human beings who finally had the chance to stop running.